2 News. This is a special report.
How's it going, everybody? Aloha and welcome to the Daniel K. Inouye International Airport. I'm Rob DeMello and I am here for the Honolulu Homecoming, the World Championship Homecoming of the Honolulu Little League as they return home as world champions, winning in Williamsport, capturing the Little League World Series Championship yesterday, beating South Korea 3-0 in a game that we will all remember. Now, fans are expected here shortly. This team is supposed to arrive from their flight on the East Coast at 1:20 here in Honolulu. It's about 1 o'clock, so we have some time. My experiences of covering these kinds of events, most recently Max Holloway and Yancy Medeiros returning from the UFC in Brazil after Max won the championship. There's some time because you remember there's a lot of local people that work here at the airport. So before they make their way here to the crowd, to the festivities that are going to be going on, Governor David Ige, Mayor Kurt Caldwell are here for this special event. They're going to have to go through those people first because we all know these Little Leaguers are the cousins and nephews of everybody here in Hawaii. But again, to go over, in case you missed it, if you're living under a rock over the weekend, the Honolulu Little League captured the Little League World Series with a win over South Korea. Yesterday, they beat Georgia for the United States title a day earlier. And if you remember, this is the third time in a 13-year span that Hawaii has captured a Little League World Series championship. We all remember 2005, the Ewa Beach team, head coached by Leighton Aliviado. He had his son Kaeo Aliviado at first base. Von Feao was the pitcher. Michael Mamea hit the walk-off home run to beat Curacao that sent everyone into a frenzy. Then, just 3 years later, Waipio captured the Little League World Series championship. That team was coached by Tim O'Donohue. He had his son, Christian Seaboy Donahue, at first base. Iolana Akau, some of the names. And, of course, another person that was a part of that Waipio team, the starting pitcher of their championship win over Mexico, Caleb Duhe here. Thanks for joining us today. And Caleb, this is a very special day because not only are they coming home as world champions, but you get to be here and welcome this team into this very elite fraternity of being world champions from Hawaii. How proud are you to have another team here part of that club?
Unbelievably proud. I mean, not just me, but everybody from Hawaii. I mean, to be on this side of it and to be able to see the whole community of Hawaii as a whole and cheer on another team is just amazing to see, just to see what they've done, and just awesome that, you know, they get to bring it back home once again.
Now, I mentioned that was 2008, which means this is the 10-year anniversary of Waipio winning that World Series championship. Can you remember this moment for you? Because you guys are doing you guys did the exact same thing that this team is about to do, and that's arrive in Hawaii before a crowd, before the festivities, and you had to make this walk. Memories coming back from that?
Yeah, definitely. And I tell you what, man, when they come through all this right here, once they hit the island, man, it's just going to be just chaos. Like, life is going to just change for them. It's going to, like, I know for me as a kid, it was just, I didn't know how to deal with it. I didn't, like, it was just, like, so many, like, reporters, like, cameras and all that stuff going on. I was just, and, you know, it's going to be crazy for them from this next coming year. It's going to be crazy.
Yeah, and it hasn't ended. 10 years later, and reporters and cameras still
yeah.
bugging you, huh?
Yeah.
Well, you know, for these guys, I think a thing that you can truly understand and appreciate is what's about to happen for them beyond baseball, because obviously they've become local celebrities here in Hawaii. But the first things first is probably tomorrow, maybe Wednesday, they got to get back to school and make up for 2 weeks of missed school.
Yeah.
How difficult was that, and do you have any advice for them, if you're able to give them advice as far as how they handled it?
Yeah, I mean, you just got to work with it, man. You know, learn how to balance the two out. You know, I know for me it was hard to do my schoolwork, just like all this is a big distraction, you know, but at the end of the day, you know, you got to get your work done, and you got to manage all this, like, media and everything outside at the aftermath of the World Series after, too.
Now, what impressed you the most about this team, about what they're able to do?
just pure dominance. Like just throughout, I've been watching them from regionals all the way up until the end, and just pure dominance and just really showing like, you know, how really talented like Hawaii is. I know that we got good baseball players, not just baseball players, but all type of athletes too. That you know we proved to the mainland and like the whole world that on this small island we got competitors.
Well, Caleb Duhe, thank you for coming down here today. Congratulations on the 10-year anniversary of Waipio winning it. I can't hear a thing that's going on right now. I have to be completely honest. So I'm going to send things back to Howard Deshevsky in the studio. We'll be talking to more Little League World Series champions as this day goes on. But in fact, I'm being told we're going to go to Manolo Morales here at the Honolulu International Airport, the Daniel K. International Airport. Manolo, I'm going to hand things off to you.
All right, thank you very much, Rob. Well, we've got the fans here inside the terminal. Want to get the first glimpse of them when they come here at the baggage claim area. This group, we have the Bruce Boucher fan club here. First of all, I think some of the first ones here. I'm going to talk to Diana Morris over here, and you're a neighbor of the family.
Yes.
And you had to be here.
I have to be here. It's a must. It's a definite must.
Were you supposed to work today? Are we getting you in trouble right now?
No? Yes?
Yes, okay. This is a legitimate excuse, though, for you guys.
Yes, I hope so. Hi, boss.
Well, just talk about what this whole weekend was like as you were watching the game, watching the Bruce and the rest of the team. What was that like for you and your family?
Well, despite that, it was a very stressful weekend, and it was kind of scary. But because of this team, we were able to see, I guess, the light of everything else that's been going on this weekend. And that's why we're here, because of the happiness that they bring to us here in this island.
Yeah, and boy, did they bring the sunshine in, didn't they?
They did. They really did. And as a matter of fact, it helps a lot more when they're smiling out in the field. It brings us smiles too.
A lot of tears.
Yes.
Tears of joy. Tell me your name first of all.
I'm Patty Morris.
Patty?
Yeah, and
Okay,
I'm the neighbor, and
you're also the neighbor?
this is Grandma, right here.
This is
Bruce's grandma.
okay. Oh my goodness. Okay. Well, I'm gonna if I can. The Boucher family is here. Actually, come on over here. This is.
This is Bruce's brother.
This is Bruce's brother right here. We got Elizabeth and Mark.
Yep.
Okay, the grandparents of the Bruce Boucher fan club. Basically, is what it is. Boy, you guys come out in droves when you come out. Talk about just how proud this whole weekend or this last few days have been for you guys.
Absolutely fantastic. I mean, I'm so proud of Bruce. Yesterday, ecstatic. I was calling everybody. Everybody's calling us. You know, so proud of him. And my son Mark and Christy. You know, the driving force behind him. It's just a great kid.
I'm just thinking when you're being so close to that, it's like, can you even pay attention? I mean, how can you pay attention to the game or within every pitch you're just on pins and needles?
Yes, it was hard to watch, but all we did was just root for the boys, and we're glad that they won.
That's the whole team. The whole team. There's nothing like it. They were just fantastic. So in sync. You know, just like one perfect machine operate. Yeah, just.
And yeah, obviously, give a lot of
camaraderie. The camaraderie, it's unbelievable.
I mean, a lot of credit to the kids, but certainly the coach did such a fantastic job in keeping them like.
Very humbling person. Yes, very nice.
Fantastic coach.
Have you talked to Bruce since they won that game?
Oh, we just sent him a few texts. He's been very busy, so.
Just a little bit.
Right. I saw him sign autographs on TV, so on baseballs.
Yeah.
This is other grandmother right here.
Hi, what is your name?
Gwen.
Gwen.
Yeah, Christy.
Now, did you guys watch the game together, and what was that like?
Oh, very nail-biting. Was awesome. Good team. Awesome coaches. Yeah, they're good. Such a team effort.
Are you nervous?
Yes. I'm so excited to see them. Yes.
How much crying was there when the game ended?
a lot of crying.
Yeah,
Yes.
the good kind.
Both of them had to put up with me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here's a joy.
Joy, God bless them. And I don't know too much of the boys, but I feel like they're all my grandsons right now because I know all of them from TV. And God bless all of them. And
You've
the coach.
seen them at their best.
Oh, at their best. At their best. Love
So
them.
this is Bruce's brother? Okay, what is your name?
Bronson.
Do you play baseball yourself?
Yeah.
Okay, I guess this is something you'd like to do sometime in the years ahead?
Yeah.
Okay, what position do you play with Bruce as a catcher?
Catcher.
I want to be a catcher. Does he kind of teach you a little bit when he's been playing?
No, I started before him.
You started before him. So this means you're going to be even better than him. That's not what that means?
Yeah.
All right. So are you playing for a team now?
No.
Not yet, but you'll be ready, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. We got more fans over here. Who do we have over here? Auntie.
I'm Auntie Jenny.
Auntie Jen. Okay. Now, Auntie Jen. Now, were you watching with everybody else, or what was this like? I mean, just who was in the household? How many people were in the house watching this game?
It was quite a bit of us. It's like 9 of us in the house, including the kids.
Including the kids?
Yeah.
11 altogether?
Oh, there's the cousin.
Cousin, hi. But just how emotional was it as with every inning that went through, knowing okay they're winning, but hopefully they go all the way. And
I tell you, I was nerve-wracking. Well, we have back and front house. I was going back and forth. 2 televisions. That's how nervous I was.
why you think one television might be the winning one? Is that what it was?
Yeah. But it was very exciting. So.
Well, whatever you did, it worked, right? It's like all that running around.
Yep. No, it's relief. Relief.
And what is your name?
Logan.
What is it? I'm sorry?
Logan.
Logan. Okay, and you're Bruce's cousin. Okay, now I don't know. Do you think Bruce might be a different person by the time he comes back? He's now a world champion.
Yeah.
You know that means you got to call him sir. You think you will? No.
No.
Okay. All right. We've got more people over here. Who do we have back here?
The uncle.
The uncle.
His Hawaiian name.
How are you?
Good,
What is
good.
your name, sir?
Kalani.
Kalani.
I'm
No,
here for Aukai.
for Aukai.
Yeah.
I know his family is here in a big
Yeah,
way.
yeah.
Okay.
All over the place.
All
All
over
over
the
the support.
place? Okay.
Awesome team. They did such a wonderful job. Yeah, we're amazing. The coaching staff couldn't beat the coaching staff, but the boys terrific. So proud of them, all of them.
And certainly Aukai, I mean, did such a
Oh, yeah.
tremendous job.
Yeah.
Both pitching and hitting, and
Yeah.
I mean, how?
He's got a bright future ahead of him.
Yeah.
You know, he's the #1 world champion in our family right now. He's the
Right.
first.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's the first. So we're very proud of him.
Was he always good at everything he did, or I mean, did he?
Family. I mean, my brother, this is my younger brother's child, third son, and all of them play. All
Oh,
of
they
them
all
are
play
very
baseball.
athletic. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's in the blood.
It's in the blood, not my blood, in his blood.
Well,
But yeah, we're very proud of him. Very proud of him.
Now, I was just wondering, have you talked to him at all since?
No, we haven't.
Okay.
We've been unable to. We called, but they've been busy.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've been really busy. So we wanted to make sure somebody was here to represent the family.
So I think your brother and his wife, Aukai's parents, are
yes,
with him, and they're
they're
doing
with him.
well. And
Yes,
and they're just
absolutely.
Probably overwhelmed by everything that's happening.
I'm sure we are. We were ecstatic watching that game last night. So.
Now, is the family planning anything special, crazy
To,
tonight, or?
Probably not tonight because I know the boys need to go back to school tomorrow.
Oh.
Yeah, so probably later on. Yeah, we'll probably get together and have something definitely for him. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
That's right. There's school.
There's more. Yes, they got to get back to life, right? Got
There's
to
that
get back.
school
to
thing
life.
that I just can't imagine them, being in the moment that they're in now.
I know.
And then going back to school
Tomorrow, yes, it's another day tomorrow.
Going to bed early tonight.
Absolutely, absolutely.
and you got plenty of lay for everybody. Is this like for the
I'm
whole
hoping,
team?
yeah, there's more there.
Okay.
So we're not sure how many, but yeah, we're hoping this is enough.
Well, I'm sure, as a great a time as they've been having over
yeah.
there, they'll be happy to get home.
Yeah.
They'll be happy
this is
to
such a
see the
nice-
people here
Absolutely.
greeting them.
Yes, absolutely. That's what we want.
That's
We want a
fantastic.
really fantastic reception for them. They deserve it. They absolutely deserve this. So this is such a nice turnout. Hawaii cannot go wrong. right? Cannot go wrong.
I'm
Ohana here.
I'm hearing there's a parade in the works.
Let's hope so. They deserve it.
I don't see how you could not have
Right?
one, right?
Governor Ige, you heard that. We need a parade for these boys.
I think the mayor's already planning
Yes.
one, so I
Terrific.
see that in the near future.
Terrific. Let's hope so.
And certainly, yeah.
Yeah.
So soon enough, they'll be any minute now going through these doors, and I believe. Well, we'll see what else some of the fans are doing over here. Okay. We believe that the plane has arrived in the gate, so of course it's going to take some time for them to get off the plane. Who knows? There are probably all kinds of passengers trying to stop them as they're trying to get off the plane. So I believe Rob DeMello is ready to take over. I'm going to pass the baton to him because he's got some more important people to talk to also with him. Go ahead, Rob. You know what? I'll.
Harrison, you have a pitching academy for. You have a pitching. I'm gonna go double. You have a pitching academy for young pitchers here in the state of Hawaii, and watching the display that these guys put on here in the Little League World Series Championship, whether it's Ao Kaikea with his 15 strikeouts. How impressed were you with what these guys were able to do under the magnifying glass that they're under in that tournament?
I was extremely impressed, and it's one of those things, you know, me being a pitching geek, if you will, you know, to have 3 straight shutouts like that and to win it that way, that was extremely impressive. And then to go to your number 2 guy who, you know, is nothing short of Ao Kaikea also, and, you know, got out there, competed, and early set the tempo, and then, you know, Mana Lau Kong with that leadoff home run, that was special.
You know, when you look at what has been accomplished here in the state of Hawaii in Little League Baseball, going back to 2005 with the Ewa Beach team, 2008 Waipio, and then now here in 2018 with this Honolulu squad. And then you add to that all the Cal Ripken World Series champions, the Babe Ruth League. You had the Babe Ruth League of Hilo that won multiple about a decade ago. The Cal Ripken team this year, you had 2 with Hanaho and the Crew both winning championships. What does it say about the state of Hawaii and the game of baseball, the talent that we have here?
And I've always said this, is that Hawaii has probably, you know, Hawaii has talent. Hawaii can play baseball, and, you know, and I think it's a product of playing in paradise. You know, there's no real off-season here in the island, so when you're able to hone your skill 24/7 every single day of the year, that's something really, really important, especially at the youth level, when you're so you know, you're trying to mold yourself and you mold your skills and stuff like that. So you know, that's I've always said Hawaii has a really, really high caliber of baseball.
You know, and when you look at the players that everyone has to grow up looking at, I mean, you played Division I baseball, Mid-Pacific Institute graduate, and you had that dream of playing at the next level. You had that dream growing up in Little League as far as what you wanted to accomplish in the game of baseball. How big was it to have players like Shane Victorino, Benny Agbayani, I mean, Sid Fernandez before your time, to even look at and say, you know what, this is possible? And then when you look at these youngsters, you have 7, 8, 9, 10-year-olds that can now look at this team of 12-year-olds and say, if they can do it, why can't we do it? How big is that?
It's huge, and for me, my guy was Shane Komine from Kalani High School, 1998 grad, and you know, he pitched at University of Nebraska, really small stature kind of guy, right-handed, just like myself. And so for me, to see a guy who looks like me throwing, you know, 92, 95 miles an hour, that was a treat to watch. And so I think it's really important to have somebody to look up to and somebody to kind of mold your game with, because you know, I think as long as you think it's possible, I think anything's possible.
In 2010, you were on that University of Hawaii team that won a WAC championship. Our buddy Sam Spangler was on that team as well. And, you know, obviously it's a different situation because it's college athletics and you guys went up to the regional and there's a big gap between coming back home. But you felt the aloha when you guys got back. And I think any member of that team, when you look at who was on that squad, the Colton Wongs and Greg Garcia, as we mentioned, Sam, Vinny Katrikala, Jeff Van Durnham, those guys are forever a part of Hawaii sports history. These guys are doing the same thing. How much does the aloha that Hawaii gives back fuel teams when they're on the continent trying to win championships?
Well, I think it's one of those situations where the aloha is reciprocated. You know, last week Hawaii had a really, really tough week with the hurricane and all of that. And I think this team really, really responded well to that. They really took it upon themselves to really represent the state. And you know, I know they were playing for a national championship. I know they were playing for a USA championship, but you know, you're trying to play for your country, but these guys, they really, really represented Hawaii and played for Hawaii, and I thought that was big, and I think the state really appreciates this squad.
And the last thing is taking yourself away from baseball, taking yourself away as a pitching coach, as a former star here on the Hawaii baseball scene, but just as a resident, just as a guy who looks at these children and says, unbelievable what they're able to accomplish. How proud are you that they represented the state of Hawaii, not only in baseball, but, I mean, let's face it, there are ambassadors of Aloha up there on the biggest national stage there is.
Yeah, I mean, it's just aloha, I think, is more than a word to people from Hawaii, and I think they really embodied what aloha is. They played the game with respect, they respected their opponents, they played the game with class, and that's all you can really ask for. You know, these guys are 12 and 13 years old, and so, you know, to play at this type of stage and at this type of level, you know, it's just, you know, the expectation for players at this age isn't to be super well spoken and things like that and represent and stuff, but, you know, they checked all the boxes, so this team is going to be cherished for a long time.
You check all the boxes as well, my friend. Harrison Kuroda, former University of Hawaii pitcher, Spectrum Sports Hawaii baseball analyst. We appreciate your time. And, you know, Harry brought up something very interesting as far as with Hurricane Lane going on and these kids serving as an inspiration during a very scary time for a lot of people in Hawaii. Let's not forget that this is one of the greatest weekends in Hawaii sports history, with the University of Hawaii also going up to Colorado, beating Colorado State in their season opener, winning in Fort Collins for the first time in 30 years. This was a very special weekend in Hawaii sports that we will soon not forget. And once these kids touch down and they're able to feel the aloha, I think that's going to be another moment that we will never forget, because this is going to be very special. Those smiles that lit up the national television audience for 2 weeks is going to now light up the state of Hawaii, and I can't wait to see it happen. Manolo Morales is here at the Daniel K. Inouye International Airport with more reaction here. Manolo, I'm going to throw things to you, buddy.
All right, thank you very much, Rob. Well, you know, obviously a lot of love for the players, but also some love for the coaches here, right? All right, Joni Valentine is here, and you are actually a co-worker of one of the coaches?
I am actually. Keith is on our team. We have a team of 5, and we came down here to support him today with the great job they've all done, especially the boys, on the great win.
You mean Keith has a full-time job in addition to coaching these boys? What is he not committed to these boys enough?
He does have a full-time job, and me and my coworkers here have been taking care of him, you know.
Can I ask what you guys do?
We work for Merrill Lynch.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So it's in the financial
industry, yep.
And
So
what does Keith do?
Keith is a very good financial advisor.
Really? I think somehow that helps in winning this whole thing.
Exactly. I think you're right.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And show what you brought for the team, okay?
Sherry here had made some candies.
Okay, candies for the team.
Just something for the boys.
And I'm thinking, I was telling you earlier, hey, this is something they're going to want to use right away.
Some local candy since they've been away for so long. So.
Absolutely. What a great idea. Okay. And just describe, I think we see them. We see their uniforms coming down the escalator. And obviously, it's got to be the team. We don't want anybody to trip.
So, ladies and gentlemen, that was the Honolulu Little League World Series champions arriving here in Honolulu to a huge crowd. And I'll tell you what, as hard as they fought in this World Series, I think there's a lot of people here that had to fight just as hard to not have tears roll down their cheeks because that was a pretty emotional moment, very special to see. These kids deserve all the aloha that they are about to get. And I'm going to bring in now, real quickly, as they set up for this very special ceremony, we have Alaka'i Aglape of the 2005 Ewa Beach Little League World Series champions. And Alaka'i, you've been through this. You made that walk down the stairs. How emotional was it to see another team join this elite club of World Series champions from Hawaii?
You know, it brings back a lot of memories. And, you know, these kids don't know what they're about to experience, and, you know, for them, they're just going to have to really enjoy the ride and appreciate all these people that come out here, take the time, you know, out of their busy day to come see them. So, you know, it brings back a lot of memories where my heart's pumping, and I was like, oh man, I'm excited for these kids, you know? So it's great to see that.
You know, we mentioned you were on the 2005 team, and on that team, Ka'eo Liviato went on to the University of Hawaii. You went on to star at Punahou, playing football over there. I know you're still part of that program, helping the coach. I mean, so many great stories. In 2008, Christian Donahue goes to Oregon State and is now playing the Chicago Cubs organization. Baseball continues. They continue to represent Hawaii. How excited are you to have these kids now have a story?
You know, just by watching them the last few days and just seeing how they represent.
Sorry, we're going to come back to Alaka'i in just a bit, but we're going to go over to more of this coverage here of the Honolulu Little League World Champions being back home.
My name is Tim Sakahara with the Hawaii Department of Transportation, and I, for one, am thrilled to be here and be one of the first to congratulate the team and the coaches, all of Honolulu Little League, as this is a huge win for everybody. Just a few of the stats, just to bring it home on this accomplishment. This is, of course, the third Hawaii team that's won a Little League World Series championship. Hawaii is now proud to say we are one of only 7 states in the country that now holds 3 of those World Series championships. And not only did this team win and go undefeated throughout the entire tournament, but they only gave up 3 runs throughout the entire tournament to all the teams. Yeah. And against the best talent in the world, literally. The best talent in the country and the best talent in the world. So that in and of itself is truly amazing, which is why we are all so proud to be part of this and so proud to welcome them home. Of course, I'm not the only one who's proud. Certainly Governor David Ige is very proud of this team, and right now I'd like to invite him up to the microphone to say a few words.
Aloha. Congratulations to the Honolulu Little League World Champions. You know, I have to admit, around Wednesday and Thursday, some of us were slightly preoccupied by other business before us, but a part of us was always watching and listening for the progress on this team. You know, I know that all of you players will not truly understand what you've accomplished. There are only a few times in one's lifetime that you can be considered world champions, meaning that you are the best in the world. So congratulations to each and every one of you for being the best. You know, but I'm just so proud to be governor of the state of Hawaii because it's not only the fact that you are the best in the world, but how you did it. And truly the commitment to the team, the commitment to helping each other be successful, and doing it in the right way for the right reasons. I just really wanted to congratulate each and every one of the players, wanted to congratulate the coaches who provide the guidance to help the team be the best they could be. And then finally to the parents and supporters, because I do know it takes a village to be a world champion. And I really want to congratulate each and every one of you for your part of staying with the program, of being committed to supporting the players, and most importantly, being committed to represent all that Hawaii means, that aloha spirit, that commitment to being bigger and better than yourselves, of representing the state of Hawaii in everything that you did with class and determination, and most most importantly, outstanding success. So on behalf of the people of Hawaii, it truly is an honor and privilege to congratulate you as world champions. Mahalo.
All right, thank you, Governor. It's certainly not every day that the governor and the mayors and everybody comes and greets a baseball team. I'm sure all the kids know, but for everyone else who may not have heard, even President Barack Obama tweeted to the team after they had won. He had went on Twitter and said, "Congratulations, Hawaii, for winning the Little League World Series. You make America very proud." And he added the shaka emoji. It definitely encompasses the fact that their enthusiasm definitely spread all around the country and the world, and of course here in Honolulu. At this point, I would like to invite Mayor Kirk Caldwell to come up and say a few words.
Thank you, Tim. Good afternoon and aloha. Aloha. You know, I just feel so proud, and I know everyone from Hawaii feels that way. And the people from the city and county in Honolulu in particular, because they are the Honolulu All-Stars. Watching them play, watching how they played, and listening to what Coach told them about being humble. It's about team. It's about we, not me, is a lesson that we can all take to heart. You know, after Hurricane Lane, we needed some good news. And they brought the best possible news you could ever get. You know, I told my wife, they were playing states, and then they were playing whole countries. Our small little place, we're taking on entire countries. And it says much about us as a people. You know, they were on what some people call the mainland. I like to call the continent. This is the mainland, and they showed that we were greater than. And I think they exhibited the best values that we were taught by our grandparents and our parents about being humble. You know, as a community, we don't do tantaran. We give credit to everybody, and they did exactly that. These young men, I can't imagine how I was when they were age, but these young men showed grace and humility. And I heard a story about one night, they played late, they had to go have dinner, and they went to a restaurant which was ready to close, but they said, "Hey, we will accommodate you. We'll stay open for you and feed you." But you know what these young men did? They stayed around afterwards and cleared up. Now that is something only folks from Hawaii do. We're so proud. In the coming days, we'll be working with the team, with the coach, to do a parade. We want to do it right. We want to do it with their blessing in the area that they want to hold it. But we will be there to wrap them with our love so the entire city and county of Honolulu Island, Oahu, can be there to celebrate and share in their glory. I can't imagine how they must all be feeling. They got to be extra tired for sure. But a lot of adrenaline. Think about when they show up at school tomorrow, what that's going to be like. But we love all of them. Thank you for showing all of us the very best in all of us from Honolulu and from the state of Hawaii. We love you all. Mahalo and aloha.
School. What's school? Right? Maybe you guys can get the governor or mayor to write you a homework pass, too, while you're here, before you go. Although I think you still got to do it. But actually, and thank you to the mayor. Mayor doesn't travel alone. A quick thank you to the Royal Hawaiian Band and Clark Bright for being out here as well. Thank you, guys. That's all for you guys. This is all for you guys. In addition, I want to just acknowledge two Honolulu City Council members, Brandon Elefante and Kimberly Marcos Pine as well. Mayor Caldwell also brought United Airlines employees as well. I'm telling you, he doesn't travel alone. They brought him back on the flight as well. I'm sure they took good care of him. And Kauai Mayor Bernard Carvalho flew into town simply just for this event as well. Which that doesn't happen every day either. And right now, I'd like to have Mayor Carvalho come up and say a few words.
All right, Mayor.
All right. World champions! I'd like to thank Governor Ige and, of course, Mayor Caldwell. I speak on behalf of the people of Kauai, Niihau, and our neighbor islands who are all with us right now as we speak, our whole state. And it's important to us to understand that, and I speak on their behalf. I want to congratulate these young men, these young boys, men, and of course the coaches for their love and aloha, for setting the example, not only for Hawaii, for the world. And I think that's an important message. And I just want to say one last thing. They truly exemplified the word aloha. E, akahai, kindness. They played hard, but they were kind. El, lokahi, unity. They stand united no matter what. Olu, agreeable. They agreed to disagree. We won, okay? H, ha, humility and humbleness. Oh my God. How much humbleness and humility, but they played hard. And the last one, ahanui, patience. Very patient, but we won. Yes. So thank you, Governor Ige. Thank you. Mahalo to the boys, to the families, to the entire state, all the neighbor islands. Aloha, mahalo, and God bless you guys. Aloha.
Thank you, Mayor. Always enthusiastic himself. You know, as a Little League parent myself, I know what it goes into the whole season and meals and all that, and I can't even imagine what it takes to go to the mainland and be part of a tournament like this. So before we go on, I just want to acknowledge the parents and family members that also stuck by the kids through this whole journey as well. You guys should write a book because your kids have ice water in their veins, man. I'm telling you. Like Mayor said, at 12, 13 years old, I certainly wasn't this cool, calm, and collected as these kids are. So, of course, it took a great team leader and manager to make this all happen, right? And at this point, I know I'm putting him on the spot a little bit. He didn't know until a minute ago that I was going to have him come up. But I would, and I think everybody wants to hear from team manager Gerald Ora.
Aloha. Aloha. I wish I had this kind of welcome every time I stepped off the airplane. Just seriously, but on behalf of the Honolulu Little League players, the coaches, and the parents, this journey has been such a humbling experience. It's not often that we have this great opportunity to represent this great state of Hawaii. You know, prior to us leaving Hawaii, we were able to visit Mayor Caldwell's office, and he reminded us, you know, play with aloha, be humble. And I'm so proud that these kids took it to heart. Nothing made us more prouder than to represent everyone here. And during that time when the hurricane, it was such a great opportunity, again, to represent all of you. And please realize that, you know, even though our 14 kids are standing up along with the 3 coaches, there's hundreds of you volunteers, the parents, you know, that's what this is for. All the people that are behind that really support each other. And this is was an amazing opportunity again to really thank everybody. So on behalf again of the Honolulu Little League players, parents, and coaches, just kind of say thank you very enough for everything that you guys did and we really felt it on the mainland. Thank you.
That's it right there. And he doesn't have a child on the team, so you know he's doing it for love, right? And all that. So, you know, I know kids, especially 12 and 13-year-olds, are into selfies and things like that. I don't know if they know, but last night and all week, we lit Aloha Tower in the team colors, blue and gold, in your honor. I believe Honolulu Hale is going to be lit in their honor at blue and gold. So there's a couple selfie spots later tonight when it gets dark and the lights come on. You guys could go there if you like. But it is done truly in your honor. And I know you guys are game. I know they didn't know. But does anybody want to hear from any of the players? Yeah. Perfect. All right. Yeah. Let's get Kaolu Holt. Starting pitcher in the World Championship game. Come, my friend. So, Kaolu here was the pitcher, obviously, against South Korea through a complete game shutout. Yeah. Only the 3rd time in Little League Championship history that that's happened. Was that your first complete game shutout as well, ever? It was. You picked a good time to have your first. I'll tell you that much right there. And look at that smile. And he did it all with a smile on his face the whole time. The commentators kept saying how they loved your smile. Did you know you were smiling so much? No. So one thing I want to know is when I was watching the game, South Korea batters were like really crowding the plate. And I think they might have been trying to get in your head, but man, you didn't let it faze you. What was going through your mind when you saw that and did it affect you at all?
I didn't really notice it, but when I watched the game, I kind of saw it, but it didn't faze me at all. I just kept throwing strikes, and my team had my back.
You're a gamer, right? And what does it mean to come here and see, all the TV cameras, the governors, the mayors, city council members, everybody out here for you guys?
It's amazing because I love the support from everyone and back in Hawaii. It's just amazing to see how much people support us, and this is an amazing journey to do with my team.
All right, thanks, Colin. How about Alkai? Alkai, Alkai was the starting pitcher in the United States Championship game and also brought it home. He only had 15. Well, put it in perspective. There's only 18 minimum batters faced in a Little League game is 18. He struck out 15 of them. all with a foot injury as well. First of all, how's the foot? How are you feeling?
Foot's pretty good. They're getting better. For like the past month, and just feeling really good for all the support from back home.
What was your approach going up into that? We'll bring you over here so everybody else can hear too. What was your approach going into that game, the United States Championship game?
Well, going into that game, I was just thinking there's strikes, and it happened.
What was your favorite memory of the whole thing?
Well, my favorite memory was getting that last out in the U.S. Championship. It's pretty fun. Just winning the championship.
Like nothing, do it every day. This kind of thing, yeah. Well, Kai, thank you. We're all proud of you as well. Thank you. Mana Lau Kong. Can Mana come out, please? So, if you started watching the game late, you missed a lot. Very first pitch of the game, Mana takes him deep over the center field fence. And who knew at that time that was all they would need, right? The game-winning run in the first pitch, basically. But Mana, first of all, tell me about your approach at that first at-bat. I mean, you had to have been nervous, but you go up there ready to hit, obviously. What was your approach?
I knew that pitcher was going to be tough to hit, so I was thinking that do not let any fastballs go by and try and go attack every fastball. And then once he gave me that fastball, first pitch, I just swung and eventually just went over.
What were you thinking when you were running around the bases? Come over here so the other mics can hear you too.
I was thinking that we really needed that run because we might not even be able to get a run eventually because that pitcher was really tough with, I think, 8 strikeouts, and yeah.
Brother, what you doing to get so tall, too? You're taller than me. I'm not thinking the South Koreans are going to want to check your birth certificate. Do you have any secret?
Not really.
Sleep, maybe drink milk and all that stuff? What was it like also to be playing against kids from all over the country and all over the world?
It's really cool because not too many people get an opportunity like that to be able to play against all other people and make new friends around the world.
Fantastic. What school do you go?
I go UH Lab.
Nice. All right. Thank you, Mark. Great job. Thank you. All right, let's do maybe one more. How about Big Sexy? Let's get Big Sexy Sean Yamaguchi up here. All right. First of all, where did that nickname come from?
It came from when I was younger. My brother's coach just called me Big Sexy, so I just kept with that name.
Nice. All right, I know you guys probably watched SportsCenter last night. You, my friend, were on one of SportsCenter top 10 plays out of the country, by the way. What's bigger, being on SportsCenter top 10 or the championship?
The championship's way better.
Yeah. I was hoping you'd say that, but it's pretty darn cool. Being part of SportsCenter top 10 as well, yeah. So what's it like, man? You got a lot of praise for your play and sportsmanship and things. I mean, you come home now. What's that like to be kind of like an instant rock star?
It feels good, but now I know that it's gonna be back to reality. I gotta do chores and stuff, and I gotta go to school. But it feels awesome.
That's good. You can't big time it. You still got to take out the garbage. Still got to do your homework. All that stuff. Hey, you made one of the slickest plays that play with the charging on the slow roller in the infield, all in one motion, throw to first base and throw a dart, hit him right in the chest. How do you get to be so nimble too? You're a big kid too, muscular of course. But how do you get to be so nimble?
It's just our Coach Joe takes time, and we practice every day on ground balls, so it comes muscle memory to us.
Fantastic. Oh, well, I know it definitely looked like you guys practiced a lot. You have Instagram?
Yeah.
How many new followers have you had since this all began?
About 7,000.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah.
Oh my God. See, told you, instant rock star. Well, I know these kids are tired. They will be around. What's it like signing autographs too, by the way?
It's awesome. You can't get sick of it because I know here in about 2 years it's gonna go away. So it felt awesome up there.
Let's hope not 15 minutes, brother. 15 minutes sometime. No, exactly. Well, enjoy the moment. I know some folks from Zippy's also brought zip packs for you guys all and things like that. Volunteered to do that. I'm sure you guys are hungry. But in closing, I would just like to, again, congratulate all of you guys for not only making yourselves proud, the families proud, but literally all of Hawaii is so proud of you guys. And in a time of need, you guys came through for the entire state. So thank you very much. Thank you very much. All right. And thank you all from the public who came down, took time off your workday to come down and greet the kids. I know it means a lot to them and their families. Feel free, they'll be around for a little while. I know they got to get their luggage at some point too. But thank you guys, thank you boys, we appreciate it. Aloha.
Guys, what an incredible scene here at the Daniel K. Inouye International Airport. The Honolulu Little League World Series champions touchdown in Hawaii, and that was a spectacular display of aloha from Governor David Ige, Mayor Kurt Caldwell, Bernard Carvalho was here. Such a special day that we're, like I said before this started, we will never forget. And I'm going to bring in Alaka'i Aglape again, a member of the 2005 Ewa Beach World Series champion, the team that was first to accomplish this feat. Watching that take place, what was going through your mind, and how special do you think this day is for these young men?
Oh, these guys are going to remember it for the rest of their lives. For me, it's like almost 15 years later, and I still remember every bit of it. So it's going to be an experience that they're going to keep with forever, and today is just going to be another special day for them,
When you hear people talk about the Ewa Beach team, the YPO team, the teams that did this before and how it paved the way, it showed young athletes what was possible. How much pride do you take in that? And is it an emotional experience to watch these kids go through it, knowing that your team was the first to ever do it?
Yeah. I think for this group, it just shows that Hawaii can compete with anybody. We're one of the best in the world, and these guys are just another special group, and they're just going to do awesome things as they continue their careers moving forward,
Now, I asked Caleb Duhe, who was here earlier, he was on the 2008 YPO Little League team, if he could give a piece of advice to these young boys and what's about to take place now over the next few years of their lives, what would you say to them?
Enjoy this moment, enjoy it, and continue to make bonds with everybody and create that friendship with everyone you come across. And people are going to remember you 10, 15 years from now. So, continue to show that aloha spirit that you guys had the last few days of playing. So continue that, represent well.
Alaka'i Aglape, the 2005 Ewa Beach World Series champions, thank you for your time. I appreciate you. I'm going to step out of the shot here as we try to figure out what is going on. And you know what? We don't have to wait very long because we got the man himself here, head coach Gerald Oda. Coach, congratulations. Thanks. Welcome home. Try to put into words the feeling of walking down those stairs and seeing all of the aloha that was poured out for you guys coming back home as world champions.
Well, like I said before, I wish this happened to me every time I came home. But no, really.
It may now.
but just really just feel so humbled by the opportunity to represent Hawaii, and so much aloha and appreciation for everybody to come and just welcome us home. It's been a long journey. It's been over 3 weeks since I came back back home. So just happy to be here. Happy to have that opportunity to represent everyone from Hawaii, and really thank you so much. On behalf of my parents, the players, the coaches, that even though we're 4,000 miles away from home, we definitely could feel the love and the aloha from over here.
What impressed you the most about this group of young boys who put a state on their backs, that represented it in such a great way, not only in the game of baseball, but just as people, ambassadors of aloha is what I like to say over the last couple of weeks of what they did. What impressed you the most about that?
During the last day of the tournament, right before the championship game, there's a sportsmanship award that goes, and that when it was announced that we won that award, I told the kids that this meant more than winning the World Championship, because this showed everybody that we not only played the game the right way on the field, we did it the right way off the field. So that, for me, that was very, very, I was very proud of the kids, and spoke volumes. This team, they stuck together. They respected each other, respected the opponents. We played hard, but yet we played with a lot of aloha, and that couldn't ask for more.
Now, for you personally, you're very humble, and I have a feeling where your answer to this question is going to go, but what you did for these kids, and really I think beyond that, what you did for everyone in Hawaii, those motivational speeches that we were lucky enough to hear because of the broadcast, I think are going to be things that stay with people forever. Not just your team. They didn't only help you on the field, but I think people will carry that. You are a master motivator. How much pride do you take in that people heard the message that you gave out, and there are going to be some coaches in Hawaii that take that very message and hand it off to their kids. You did something special as far as paving the way for not only how baseball should be played, but how coaching should be done in the state of Hawaii. How proud are you of that?
It's very, again, I'm just very humbled by that opportunity to coach, baseball. And, those words that came from me, it's not really my words. It's actually from my mentor, Daisaku Ikeda. He's the one that really taught me how precious youth are. Our greatest commodity in our community are the youth, and it's nothing but instilling hope in them. And even the youth I learned from the youth of the SGI USA that taught me that to never give up. And that's all it was, me just passing on what I've learned from others and passing it on to our keiki here in Hawaii. So, just like I said, I'm just very humbled by that opportunity.
Now I have members of the 2005 team, Alakai Aglape here, Caleb Duhe in 2008, and they both talked about, I don't think your job is over as far as managing these kids, because now they need to jump into the classroom after missing 2 weeks of school. How much are you thinking about that as far as my job isn't over, I need to be here for these children as they get back to school and try to get as close to a normal life as possible in what is going to be a not normal life?
Yeah, so it's definitely, there's a transitional period being away from home for like I said, over 3 weeks. The great thing about coaching is that even though our baseball season is over, we're going to be part of their lives for the rest of and it really touched. One of the great things about coaching too is that even while we were during this journey, we get a lot of text messages, phone calls from former players that I've coached in the past wishing us well, and that really reinforced the whole thing that, I just play a small part as coaches. We play a small part, in their lives, and giving that opportunity. Thank you. Mahalos, giving that opportunity for that, as coaches, we really take that seriously. We cherish it, and Alakai, I remember Caleb, two great kids, and there's, just very fortunate again, being able to be part of their lives, and so I'm looking forward to see these kids grow up. Not necessarily where they don't. It's not about making them big league baseball players, but it's more important about making them big league people. Seeing them grow up to be big-time fathers, husbands, men in the community that give back and really be respectful. I think that's the most important thing about coaching.
Manager Gerald Oda, congratulations on all the success. I don't know if I should be admitting to this, but I think I speak for a lot of people that it was hard to fight back the tears seeing you guys walk down. I can't imagine the emotions that are going through you right now. And I know this isn't your first time. It should be noted that in 2005, Cal Ripken World Series champions as well. And you've been doing this for so long, and we know that this isn't where it ends. You're going to continue to make an impact on youth baseball in Hawaii. And on behalf of everyone in Hawaii, thank you for that. Congratulations, Coach. Enjoy it. Right on. Take care. And right now, I'm going to throw things over to Manolo Morales, who is here to take in this special moment. Manolo, I'm handing things off to you, buddy.
Thank you very much, Rob. Well, here with the Yamaguchi family, Sean's family, Sean's mom, Lena, his brother, Michael, and his dad, Mike. So I'm thinking that if Sean is the big sexy, that means you're the big sexy senior.
No. Actually, that name was given to Sean when he was younger by one of my son's coaches, Dewa, Mike Dewa, from when he was young, and it's stuck ever since. You know.
But I think we can still call you the big sexy senior.
Well, I'm not going to disagree. but actually, in the mainland, from San Bernardino, the tournament, and ESPN told us they wouldn't be able to run that name.
Oh, okay. We want to keep it family-oriented.
No, yeah, exactly. Yeah. But we didn't think anything was wrong with it, so we made a big picture with his name, Big Sexy, on it. And it was showing a lot, so thanks, ESPN, yeah.
Michael, we were talking earlier about how now you're going to be Sean's brother, even though you played some baseball, and you guys won a few games on your own.
Yes, we won the 14U Babe Ruth World Series last year with my team Thunder. Shout out to all you guys back home. But this has been a great experience to watch my brother play in one of the biggest, shows for any 12-year-old, and living his dream, and actually, winning the entire World Series is just unbelievable.
I bet this is, how emotional has this been? I mean, you guys have been on the mainland since almost a month now, and then to come home today and see this, what's it like for you?
This is just amazing for the support, for the people of Hawaii, and just everything has been just an amazing journey. And the lessons that we've learned through all of this, living the dream of a 12-year-old boy, is just unbelievable.
Yeah. And Mike, you were telling me that, even before all this happened, he's gone to Michael's tournaments, and coming to this tournament was a dream come true for him.
Yes, there's always been Shawnee's goal and dream to play in the Little League states, of district states, regional, and now World Series, because his older brother did the Cal Ripken Babe Ruth route, and Sean was following with them all the way, and he would always say, I'm going to do Little League, and he honestly lived his dream, and thank you for all the support. He's actually really lived his dream.
And one thing, I mean, obviously, he's a great player. That's why, I mean, he's gotten all this attention, but he showed a lot of charm, some charisma out there. The cameras loved him. You got to admit that. And where did that come from?
Well, this is from me, but I don't think so. I think Sean has always been that type of child, that type of personality, and it's been a joy watching him as a family, and now at least he got to show some of his skills to the world, and it's awesome to watch.
Well, we've been talking about your son, and Rob's about to talk to him right now. Go ahead and talk to Sean, Rob.
All right, guys, I'm here with Sean Yamaguchi. The Hammer is here in Honolulu. Try to tell me how the feeling of coming down those stairs, seeing everybody here, going through this ceremony, how special was all of this, man?
This is unbelievable. We never thought this would happen when we came in.
When you look back at what you guys accomplished, winning the World Series on the baseball field, but I imagine when I talk to all the guys who have done this before, the 05 Eva Beach, 08 YPO, they say it's what happened off the field that they remember the most. Tell us about that experience, about what transpired up there.
So up there, we all hang out in the Grove, and it's awesome. We in San Bernardino, we got really close with the Idaho team, so we always hang out with them, and we're always close with the Japan team.
How much fun was it to just be yourself? That people put a camera on you and they said, Sean, have some fun, and you had some fun, my man. How much fun was that? Just being able to show the world what people in Hawaii are like, because I think a lot of people look at you and say, hey, that's Hawaii right there.
It was awesome. everybody there, they supported me, my team, and we knew that we had to win it for the state of Hawaii, so that's what we did.
Now, one of the funniest things I've seen maybe in my lifetime is what's gone viral, is that you seeing the tweet from Barack Obama saying congratulations, the immediate reaction of, oh my gosh, Barack Obama tweeted us, then instantly putting on your St. Louis cap and saying, wait, he went to Punahou.
Yeah.
You're in the brotherhood, man. You're a Crusader legend forever now.
Yeah.
How much do you love your school? I mean, for you to do something like that.
I love my school at St. Louis. Everybody texting me, even if I don't know them, they always support the brotherhood, and that's what I love about the school.
Now, speaking of school, you got to go back to school now. How are you preparing for all of that?
I'm prepared. I know I'm not going to be too cocky. They tell me thank you. I'm always going to appreciate it, and yeah.
Knowing that life will be very different moving forward, because now you're not just a youth baseball player, now you are the Hammer. How much are you looking forward to that?
I'm looking forward to a lot. You know, I always could get better, so I'm just going to try and focus on me.
Right on. Sean Yamaguchi, congratulations. Welcome back home. All of Hawaii, very proud of you. Have fun. Enjoy this, all right? You earned it. So there's a lot of these members here. Hey, what's up? In fact, there's one of my former youth baseball players over here that came to say hi. I coached him in the IAA Little League. And again, that is what we're talking about here as far as the next generation. In the same way that 05 Ewa Beach and 08 YPO inspired these teams, these kids doing the exact same thing. And I'm going to walk out of the shot real quick, and you can see that this is the pitcher, the starting pitcher, the winning pitcher of the World Championship, Ka'olu Holt. And Ka'olu, you had that entire state on your shoulders starting in the title game, and boy, did you deliver. 8 strikeouts, complete game. How much fun did you have yesterday?
It was a lot of fun because I know that was my last game of the tournament, and I just had to have fun with my team and just enjoy the moment.
You were so cool and calm under that. Being up there, and as the days went on and you guys were winning and you felt all the aloha coming back home, did that calm you guys down a little bit? Because, you know, that's a big stage to be on, and the way you guys played, especially over the last 2 days, was like you guys were playing over at Corp or something. This was nothing.
Yeah, it was just amazing because we know that the whole state of Hawaii had our back, and that kind of calmed me down because I knew that I just had to deliver for them, and since I had my back, I had to give some aloha back to them.
Sean was telling us that some of the memories he will remember forever doesn't necessarily take place on the baseball field. It's hanging out in the barracks with all the other teams. It's playing music in the outfield and dancing around as a team. Tell us about some of the memories that you have that you're going to keep forever that weren't on the baseball field, that wasn't a part of the celebration.
Probably playing ping pong inside the rec room and talking to all the other people with like Google Translator to speak to them. Yes, it was fun.
Who was the best ping pong player on the team?
Probably me.
Yeah, of course it's probably you. He's good at everything. And the last thing is all of the people coming out here and showing you this aloha. How good does it feel knowing that, you know, during that hurricane scare, a lot of people looked to this team for inspiration. You guys gave it to them. The University of Hawaii football team, who played on Saturday, beat Colorado State. I talked to John Ursua yesterday, and he said that he was inspired by the U.S. championship game on Saturday, and that helped them win their game. What does that feel to you as far as knowing that you inspired so many people with what you guys did in blue and gold up there?
It's amazing because I just had to give it to my team for helping me through the tournament, and thanks for everyone that's supporting us. It's very cool for them, and yeah, it's amazing.
Ka'olu Holt, congratulations. Off to Kamehameha. I know one of your teachers that you probably haven't met yet because you haven't been at school, but be ready. You got a lot of work to make up, but have fun, bro. Ka'olu Holt, the winning pitcher of the Little League World Series championship game, of course, that came against South Korea yesterday. A 3-0 victory, becoming the 3rd team from Hawaii to win a Little League World Series championship. Such a very special time here in Honolulu. I mean, you look around, you see all the people that are here to take in this event, to celebrate. And at this time, I'd like to bring in Howard Deshevsky, who is at the KHON2 studios. And Howard, I wanted to ask you a question. When I knew that I'd have a chance to talk to you, you played at the University of Hawaii, was a part of the College World Series experience for the Rainbows, which hasn't been done since. And obviously a very different time, no social media. You know, it wasn't the event that the Little League World Series is today as we know it. but you felt similar, Aloha, and watching this experience, what was that like for you, being that you've been through something like this, and these guys, their whole world is about to change at 12 years old?
You know, you're absolutely right. Playing as part of that 1980 College World Series team, then Governor George Ariyoshi, I remember, showed up in Omaha, Nebraska. We played in the old Rosenblatt Stadium. He showed up the day before the championship game and had a chance to meet with us, and it kind of brought it really together. We had heard that everybody back home was watching on TV and listening on the radio, but as you know, Rob, social media, that wasn't invented yet. There were no cell phones, and there was no hardly any internet communication, certainly no Facebook and Instagram. And for these kids, obviously that instant, real-time communication, they knew the gravity, and especially with the storm going on and everything else, that's what makes it so amazing for them to perform at the level that they did. And I want to put another really cool kind of historical bookend. Their game, they were on ABC, but the day before ESPN, of course, it's all one company. The championship game that I played against the University of Arizona in 1980, that was the first ever national broadcast event by a new station out of Bristol, Connecticut, ESPN. So we were the very first national championship, and then of course theirs was the most recent. So it's pretty amazing what's happened in 40 years or 38 years since that time. But what strikes me the most, Rob, is, and you heard it from talking with Coach Oda, and we can't stress this enough, and that is the humility, the sportsmanship, the respect that these players showed, and it comes from the head coach. And you know, Coach Oda told you, I play a small part. Well, that's ridiculous. He plays no small part. And we should also remind people that these Little League coaches, and you said that he doesn't even have a son on the team, or I think Tim Sakahara said that, they don't get paid for the hours they put in.
No, they do not, and they're going to be with these kids forever, for sure. And, you know, I talked about it when I was talking to Coach Oda, as far as, you know, those motivational messages that he gave to the team in the dugout, that's not just for the Honolulu Little League to use as inspiration moving forward in their lives. There are things he said that day, as simple as, today is going to be a great day. If you try your hardest, that is all we can ask out of you. And if you try your hardest, even if you come up short, you're going to walk away feeling good because you know you did everything in your power. I mean, that's a message he gave on Sunday, and we can all use that in every walk of life, in our jobs, in other children in school, as parents. Everybody could use that message, and I'm so glad that it was on a national stage, that they were mic'd up for us to take that message, because it's all about inspiration and seeing what is possible. And we've been talking about it all day. There were kids, there were professional athletes, there were other athletes from Hawaii that showed these young boys what was possible, and now they're going to be doing the same. And to me, that is the most amazing thing here, and I'm so glad that we were able to be out here for this event, because I can promise you this won't be the last time that a team from Hawaii goes on and does big things representing our Union Jack and Stripes.
Yeah, and you could bet that some of these teams like Ka'eo Aliviado will go on to play for the University of Hawaii, and they will be future stars, so we will follow them. One thing I want you to do, remember, I'm going to put the pressure on you to do something tonight, Rob. When Shane Victorino won his first World Series championship, remember that shot of him running in from center field? We need to do a split screen of him running in and then seeing Sean run in from second base. To see those side by side, that would be a great image to show on the news tonight.
Absolutely, and Shane Victorino is someone I've been talking to all week. And in fact, in the regional round, when they're in San Bernardino, he was calling me and saying, how about these kids? These kids are amazing, and follow them all the way through the tournament. He, in fact, did a FaceTime with the team in the barracks yesterday. He sent me a screenshot of that. So, again, that is the athletes, the generation before, not only paving the way, but being there for these young boys and for the young girls out there that are trying to accomplish similar feats. But very special day here at the Daniel K. Inouye International Airport. The champs are here. The Honolulu Little League World Series champions are home, and of course we're going to have continuing coverage of their return. Be sure to stay tuned to KHON2 News at 5, at 6, at 9, at 10. Wake up today, tomorrow, and of course KHON2.com as we continue to celebrate this World Championship team from Honolulu. From the Daniel K. Inouye International Airport, I'm Rob DeMello. Thank you to everybody for watching. Thanks to all of our members of Team KHON here. And again, congratulations to Honolulu, your world champions. Aloha, everybody.
Right on, Rob. Thank you. Go enjoy a little bit of the celebration. And that last shot that you saw was the first time we actually saw them coming off the plane and being greeted by the governor and the mayor, and the mayor of Kauai, Bernard Carvalho. And as he put it, being from an outer island or a neighbor island mayor, said, yeah, you're the Honolulu team, but you are Hawaii's team and you represent all of us. So great stuff, and we look forward to more coverage tonight. We do want to remind you that there is a flash flood warning in effect for the Big Island and Kauai. And in fact, a short while ago, as we sent out via one of our push alerts, the Hanalei Bridge shut down on the north shore of Kauai. We see that all too often. We will have continuing coverage on the Little Leaguers and, of course, the after effects of former hurricane and tropical storm Lane on our news again tonight at 5, 6, 9, 10, and always online at KHON2.com. For now, I'm Howard Deshefsky in the newsroom. We'll look forward to seeing you later. For now, we return to our regularly scheduled programming.